So I'll start like around 2:15, I guess.
Well, let's just see how many people are on. Let's take a look. I mean, we got a while.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'd like to get at least 20 people on before we start.
John says he doesn't have the link. John McMullen.
Okay, I'll send it to him again. I mean, I just sent it at 1:00.
I know. I don't know what the heck his problem is.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I guess people don't check their emails.
Check your emails. I'm gonna write down, check your emails.
Yeah, it was resent at 1 p.m.
There's always one.
Hi, Pat. It's Victoria.
My name is
Hi,
not Pat.
Victoria.
My name is not Pat.
Patricia.
Thank you.
Hi, Patricia. It's Victoria. Hi, Roxanne. How are you?
Hi there. How you doing?
Else. Well, we want to read in the open, do we put that in chat or?
No, you don't. No,
He's
no.
automatically signed up. You're automatically signed up.
Hey, George.
I got it. Hello.
Hey, George.
Hi, George.
Hi, George.
Hello, Victoria. How are you?
I've seen you, but I haven't talked to you in a long, long time.
It's true.
It's nice to see you.
Let's see, my volume may be a little low. How's that? A little better?
Yeah.
Roxanne, Patricia, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Pretty
Carl.
good.
All right. Okay, since all the features are here, where's Andy? I guess. We have what we're gonna do. We have the beginning. We have like about 10 open micers. Then we're gonna have features 1 and 2. Then we have the 15-minute break. And when Roxy comes back, we're gonna have some more of the open, and then we're gonna come back with the last feature. Who wants to go first? You want to be feature number 1, George, or?
Yeah, whatever you like.
Okay, George be number 1. It's Andy. I gotta wait for Andy to get back, Andy, because between you and Carla.
I can go second if you like.
Okay, yeah, have the women in between. Okay, beautiful. Andy number 3. Okay. It's 15 minutes.
What's John's email?
John Mack, let me see. Hold on.
I'm asking you because he might have used a different one to register. That may be why he can't find it.
Okay. Want me to send it to you on in the messenger?
No, can you just read it to me? I'm sorry to ask for that.
Hold on. Always a problem with him. JOHN MAC 13 at gmail.com.
And it's the number 13?
13, number 13.
Okay.
Lucky right, number 13.
I mean, that's the one. That's the one he's been using, so I don't know why he didn't get it.
I don't know what his problem is.
But
it's the same email he sent me, but the question that he didn't get his link.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the one he used to register, so I don't know what the problem is. It makes no sense to me.
I'll be right back. I have to go into the
Victoria, how's James? How is James doing?
He's great.
Yeah, I still do photography.
No, not so much now. not
Oh,
so much.
Too bad.
He was doing a little bit and then he fell on the trail and broke his foot and had foot surgery and it's been a thing.
Yeah.
But he's okay. He's good. Happy to be retired.
Hmm.
I see you've been all over the world, George.
Not yet. I'm trying to hit I'm trying to put a flag in every piece of land.
Yeah.
I gave that up many years ago, but now I've decided to try again.
Why not?
If we live long enough, Antarctica will be, nice
Be
for
like Florida.
vacations.
If we live long enough, Antarctica will come to us.
Yeah.
We'll float
Yeah.
down here.
It'll float down the Hudson.
Which one is that? Oh, that's the one down bottom.
I just want to test my microphone. Am I on?
Yep,
Okay,
we can hear
thank
you.
Who is it?
Hello, everybody.
Yes. Just want to let everyone know that if you registered, you're already automatically on the open mic. If you don't want to read, let me know. Don't send it in the chat because it's too much going on, okay? Who doesn't want to read or who has to leave sooner?
I need to leave soon, Patricia. Just because,
Hi,
yeah, my family. Hi, everybody.
hi,
Yes.
everybody.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, hello, Brownstoners. Hi, George.
How you doing?
Guys.
George. Excellent. How are you?
Right.
Good to see you.
Where are you joining us from, David?
No, I'll be joining, but then I need to go to buy some medicines and before.
Hi, John. John McMullen made it. Yay. Therese, okay, we'll push you up, Therese.
Thank you.
I'll push you in the first slot.
Well, we already have 29 people on, so I think we could start at 10 after 2.
Okay.
Patricia?
Yeah.
Start at 10 after 2.
Okay.
And I'll let you know when I have the recording set up.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't want to do anything until you start. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
We got a full house. Oh my God, full house. Yay. Hey, John. I see a hand up.
Okay, I
Yeah.
just started up the recording. The live
Cool.
stream's up. Well, let's just give a few more minutes for everybody else to get on.
Right. You're 10 after because it's right now it's 2:03. Good to see everybody here. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Oh, is that what it is?
Saturday.
Meow, meow.
I already did my posting.
I got cats
The
on the mug.
neighborhood white and black cats. I keep getting that.
I just finished cat sitting for a week.
How was it?
It was good. One of the cats, Bernie Sanders, you never see him. He hides under the bed.
Oh, God.
Just like the real one, he's grumpy. But
Yeah.
the other one, Blackjack, was very good. He was sweet, very sweet cat. So I had to feed him and do the litter.
Okay.
Patricia, do I have to exit
Reading is
myself?
the fun stuff.
Wait. Yeah, anybody who signed up can read.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a question for you,
Yeah,
Patricia.
go ahead.
If I'm totally allergic to cats and they're my deadly enemy, do I have to absent myself today?
No. All people are welcome to. Don't worry about it. Bird
Okay.
people and fish people. And humans too.
That too.
Yeah, we accept humans.
Okay.
There can be problems. As we all know.
All right.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, how's things going?
Mhm.
Are there some cats that don't like people?
Most of them.
Sure.
Because when they get past a certain age, they learn not to trust. They remember because they were the kings and queens of Egypt at once upon a time. Bastet does not like that. People hate cats. Some more coming. Oh, Prince is in the house. Prince. Okay, 31 people. Okay, hi everybody. Just let me know who can come on now. Okay, I'm just waiting for the ghost sign from it's 206. Hola.
Yeah, this is
Georgie,
writing about things.
Who's calling me?
Principe.
Hey, how's it going?
Good man, how you doing?
You're not on my screen. Oh, you're on page 1.
Caught you
Nice
in
crowd. Very nice
caught you
crowd.
in Le Bronx. Caught you acting Le Bronx.
Beautiful crowd. Thanks for putting this together, you guys.
Yeah. We work fast.
Mhm.
Great group today, Patricia.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we can start in a couple of minutes.
Okay, yeah.
We got like 32 people on now.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm growing.
Hey, Djokovic. What's up, brother?
How are you doing, Prince?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm
Hello,
hanging in
Carla.
there. I'm hanging in there. It's catter day, so I'm hanging in.
Saturday. Don't get Patty started with cats.
She already,
got
my God.
already been
It
there and
started
back.
already.
Oh
We
my
already
God.
started with Cindy and with Elizabeth.
You've already started.
Look, it don't take nothing for her to go again. I'm telling you.
Hi, Edward. Hey, Ernest.
How you doing?
Roxanne,
Mhm.
you don't have to put on your red dress.
Okay, I just would like to say something.
Go ahead.
Okay, some of you may already know this, but someone in the poetry community made her transition recently.
We know that that was a poor oh my
Maria.
God. Maria Chisholm.
Maria, yeah, I was at her wake yesterday, and I just would like to
Yeah.
say if it's okay with everybody to kind of give a tribute to her with this event. That's okay with everybody else.
Listen, man.
Okay with me.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, you do you, of course. Of course.
Sure.
Let me know when we're starting. Okay, what time is it now?
I was at her wake yesterday.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay.
2-minute countdown.
Mhm.
Mhm. Hey, George.
How goes it? Who's that, Peter?
No, me, Mike.
Mike Chikovic. How you doing? Couple good people from upstate. I see somebody else. No. Ron Bremner's from New Jersey.
I know Phil Linz is coming. He said he's
I've
going
been
to try and
seeing
make it.
coming around to a lot of things, but he never puts a screen on. But Edgar, I know you're there. We go back a long ways.
Oh,
1 minute.
Just want to give a shout out for 25th anniversary of CAPS, Mike.
that's nice. Thank you.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations.
And thank you for accepting my poem.
You're welcome.
Me too.
Everybody.
Yeah, me for.
It should be out. Greg just sent a message earlier this morning. It's just about 200 pages. And it's going to be out probably towards the middle to late March. We were hoping for 1st of March, but it ain't gonna happen. So we'll let everybody know.
Okay,
But thank you for the shout out.
restart.
Yep.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Brownstone Poets. Give yourself a round of applause. It's a beautiful day. We're ending the month of February. Yay. We got 3 awesome poets today, and we're dedicating this reading to Maria Chisholm. May she rest in power right now. A fantastic poet. So we're dedicating this reading to her, and we're having 3 amazing features today. We have George Wallace, Carla Cherry, and Andrew Kaufman. And we have the fabulous open. So since we have a lot of people here today, please try to keep one poem or one poem minimum, and keep it no more than 3 minutes if you can, if it's a long poem. So because we got a lot of people today. If you don't want to read on the open, please tell.
Uh-oh, now.
Patricia, did we
Okay.
lose you?
Yeah, hold on. Should I start again? Okay. Hi, welcome to Brownstone Poets. Give yourself a round of applause for making it today. We're dedicating this reading to Maria Chisholm, a beautiful and fantastic poem who just passed away about a week ago. And we're here to celebrate poetry and love of people here. We have 3 amazing poets today. We have George Wallace in the house. We have Carla Cherry and Andrew Kaufman. And we have a fabulous open today. We have Roxanne Hoffman, who's the Zoom Meister here. Let's give her a round of applause. She's doing a fantastic job. And since we have a lot of people today here, I believe we have like 32 people. Okay, somebody doesn't want to read. Okay, fantastic. We try to keep it to one poem or and no more than a 3-minute limit. Okay, because we got a lot of people here. And so we're going to start. We're going to start with, this is how we're going to do it. Already we have the chat room, and just if you have any shameless plugs, books, or upcoming features, please feel free to use the chat room. We're here to advertise for you. And books or anything, upcoming readings. Okay, this is how we're going to run the reading now. We have different sessions here. We have beginning about 12 open micers, and then after the 12th open micer, we're going to have features 1 and 2. That would be George Wallace and Carla Cherry. And then we're going to go into our 15-minute break. And when Roxy comes back, we return with about another 12 open mic readers. And then we're going to come back with Andrew Kaufman, who's our 3rd feature. And then we're going to end with the rest of the open. And let me read who is going to be on the first round of the open mic. We have like 3 rounds of it. 1, 2, yeah. We have Cindy Hoffman, Ron Bremer, Edward Galt, Elizabeth Moss, David Duffy, Charles Cobain, Mona Zafiasu, Victoria Twomey, Amanda Russell, Amy Barone, let's see, 2, Amy Barone, Alice Witt Smith, is she here? No. It's not. Daniel Morrissey, and Therese Crane Birch. Cindy Hockman. Okay, and just when people are reading, when it was your turn to read, that's when you unmute yourself, but the rest of us, please mute. Thank you. Cindy, take it away.
Okay.
I'm muting here.
I'm going to read a poem that George Wallace was nice enough to put into Walt's Corner, the Long Islander. I figured that would be appropriate for today. And it's called What the Sun Said Today. The flickering sun flexed her flaxen face and said, "Forgive me. I wish you well, but I have no juicy peaches to give you today. I have no ripe berries to give you today. I have no gold coins to give you today. I have no suntan or sun glow to give you today. I have no soul, S-O-L, and soul, S-O-U-L, to give you today. I have no sun-kissed smile to give you today. I have no heaven-sent poems to give you today. Forgive me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have Ron Bremer, unmute and share.
Okay. Ugly truth has an inexhaustible beauty, limitless, pervasive, and unforgettable. Facts are disputable, but their implications are not. A fast-moving train of conclusions collides with the disputed facts every day of our lives. Each one of us a different understanding of the exactitude of those facts. And most think there is value and import in facing facts. When what are thought to be facts are merely opinions, conflicts arise. We may coalesce into cliques of differing opinions. In the schoolyards of our minds, opinions solidify into unflinching beliefs. They are, to ourselves, eminently clear. They are our truth. They are our facts. Ostracism and punishment of the other follow. Is there a way to avoid separation of we, the people, into intractable divisions? Words and symbols matter so much. If we rally around the cause, we have to accept the causes that our opponents rally around. Not accept the righteousness of their causes, but accept the reverence and devotion that others have to them. We will never reach a point when all facts are indisputable and lead to universally accepted truth. But one cannot escape the facts, no matter how difficult to accept. Facts have lives of their own, which cannot be silenced indefinitely. Debris and ruins remain to testify and be rebuilt into the inexhaustible beauty of the ugly truth. Thank you and have a pleasant day.
Thank you so much, Ron. Okay, just will reiterate: Edward Gold, Elizabeth Moss, David Duffy, Charles Cobain, Mona, Victoria, Amanda, Amy, and Therese are next. So Edward, please unmute and share. Edward? Edward?
He must have stepped away. He's unmuted.
Okay, yeah, we'll return to him. Elizabeth Morris, meow, happy Saturday, unmute and share.
Happy Saturday. Nightshade. Tomatoes are nightshade. Toxins have been lurking in our salad. My friend pointed out dark berries. Deadly nightshade, she said, the fruit of malicious desserts, the tomatoes of pupil dilation. Each restaurant serves red half moons that taste like gravelly ice. Nightshade berries taste like love, my friend said. Someone tired of a spouse could make a fabulous dinner, luring their former beloved into another kind of bed. For 7-year-olds who want to make poison, there are antidotes on kitchen shelves. The children eat tomatoes for lunch at school, though no one goes home sick. Everyone has wanted to poison someone sometime.
Thank you. Ed, thank you so much. Happy Saturday to you too. Edward, you back? Unmute and share.
Bring me? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we are.
Okay, very good. This one is called Ricky and Melanie. Each morning I watched the way Ricky's mother brought him out to the bus. She held his arm as he slowly descended the stairs and walked in a sort of limp. He wore a bike helmet in case he should fall. He wore thick glasses and a hearing aid. He could not speak. When they got him on the bus, he would sit by the window of the first seat with Melanie. It was a long ride, so the two had a lot of time to get to know each other. Through reading lips or hand gestures, Melanie came to understand him over the course of the year. As she sat next to him, mastering his language, discovering who he was. One day, his mother came out of the house and down to the bus alone. She told the driver Ricky was in the hospital for a little while. From then on, Melanie sat alone in the front seat, looking out of the window on the long ride to and from school each day. Until one morning, his mother came out again, said something to the driver. Melanie began to cry, and we understood that we would not be seeing Ricky again. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very heartfelt. Thank you so much. Okay, the next three, David Duffy, Charles Cobain, and Mona. David, unmute and share.
Thank you. I'm ready. Thank
On our new poet in residence for Brownstone Poets.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Roxy. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, everyone. Ron, it was amazing. Thank you. And good to see you, George Wallace, right here. I'm deeply honored. So I'd like to share with you one of my work, which has been published in Scene magazine just a couple of months ago. It's called Race Never Were So Near as Now. Forever, for 1 second lingering, dawn drinks night and lilac shadows slide, silently slide. Their glorious seconds ripe. Race never were so near as now. Thoughts as mist slide around, expecting a miracle at dawn. By touching shadows, silence they're kissed. That we feel that we, like they, must live. And nothing will fade away upon the afternoon. We see how gently rays cling with that sound of heartbeat and expectation. As to the appearing morning city they sing, our breath is with theirs forever loved.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, next person we have is Charles Cobain.
Hi, it's my first time. Thank you for letting me join.
And thank you for coming. I met you at Fixed and Free reading.
Fixed and Free, right.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll read a poem called Reckoning's First Kiss. My first kiss has died, cirrhosis of the liver. Her ex-best friend emailed me the news. Aggrieved still, not grieving. My feelings too. But I think instead of there, I should begin here with her smile, crooked before her braces, how it beckoned me under the streetlight where we had stopped our bikes in the drawn-out summer dusk, and how we leaned them both together to make an A, a roof for our handlebars, still in hand, and closed our eyes. I should add that we missed and tried again, and once or twice got it right. The darkening street seemed to flash and spin, and oh, how could either of us breathe? She was a head taller, widely admired, with real boobs, and older by a year or two, but not so much she should be embarrassed. I wasn't. I was special, plucked from an orchard of apple-faced boys, and we spent all summer together poolside club. Now the years between us are nothing but a single step across a shallow stream that I could ford at any time. Join her there, if I wish, or accident befall, or lightning strike, or, like her, drink myself to death.
Beautiful. Oh my God. Please come again, Charles. I'm so glad Josephine introduced me to you and all that, and me hearing you read at the Fixed and Free readings.
Thanks. It's
See you
an
again.
honor.
Come
True
again.
honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up we have is Mona Zamfrieshku. And then after Mona, we have Victoria Twomley and Amanda Russell. Unmute, Mona. Welcome.
Thank you, Patricia. I have a poem that I've tentatively called War and Peace, although it's not really War and Peace. The judgments of the day coalesce a dark, ghostly web that hovers over this forest full of kindling. Fallen trees extend branches twisted like prayers towards the sky. Yet fallen trees do not pray. Fallen trees hold other fallen trees, perhaps. Velvety moss drapes their light embrace. It is very quiet here and close to the ground. Mycelium reaches dried old roots, exposed tendrils coil over decaying bark. Here in the heart of the forest, deer come with soft eyes. Robins and blue jays pierce this cluttered clearing. The voice of the damning hushed among them. I come here sometimes to touch the moss. I let my fingers run over the fallen trunks and feel the birds that must have rested on the soft green, tender and fresh like the forest in spring. The judgments of the day hover in a dark web near the top. The highest branches bend under their weight. Here on the ground, the fragrance of mold, the decomposing leaves fill my nostrils. The soil is moist, my footsteps soft and quiet. Here, nothing is truly solid, not even the dark web hovering up. Like a willow in the wind, my body knows what the war is. I paint with dark soil traces of light on my face. My hands touch the fresh moss, the crested bark of fallen trees, the wounds of my body. I put my armor down that I may know what peace is.
Wow. Thank you, Mona. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next up, we have Victoria Twomley. Welcome. And then after Victoria, will be Amanda Russell and Amy Barone. Victoria, unmute and share and welcome.
Okay. This poem is called Paradise. We were shopping for homes in the Paradise Estates, driving along the peaceful, perfect streets, identical roof peaks casting serrated shadows on unblemished driveways, bright green rectangular lawns, when we came upon the scene, an old man lying on his back behind a corner house, two men on their knees, one sweating, pressing his hands rhythmically against the old man's chest, the other breathing every few moments into his mouth. A young cop stood close by, hands on his hips, looking down. An old woman waited anxiously at a slight distance, searching the face of the officer for a clue, a magic trick, a miracle. One hand up to her mouth in fear, the other holding the old man's hat, as if he might rise at any moment and need it back. Say, "I'm fine, you're being silly, dear," as the officer in his blue uniform might flash his youthful smile and conclude in an official sort of way, "This was all a big mistake. Here is your husband. We give him back to you, perfect, peaceful, immortal." And today, here is this poem rising up in my mind like a shrill cicada, buried for 17 years, awakened and flexing its timbals, the strange memory of a day long forgotten, driving through the utopian streets of paradise.
Fabulous. Wow. Come again, Victoria. We love you. Okay, this is really a great show. Amanda Russell is next. Unmute and share. Amanda?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Can y'all okay. Sorry, I'm in my car. I'm not driving though. Okay, I'm gonna read this from my phone. It is called Lessons Learned by Trial or Error. When we said I do, I didn't know you'd be away every day. Never agreed to be poured out and refilled with another person. When the nurse said newborns tend to cough in the night, she failed to say and turn blue. I see you off to grad school each morning, then watch our daughter's life inch forward. But this living room is too small. My ambitions are responsible for the cracks in these walls. I know too well how an apple turns into a core of itself to drop its seeds. And not only because that's the image on her favorite page of the book she always picks to read. While she looks at that core, I whisper in her ear, there's a star inside. You see it when the apples split just right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Amy, Amanda. Wonderful to hear you again. And next up is Amy Barone, unmute and share.
Okay, great to be here. I'm going to read a poem called At Camp Kapapa. A 4-year-old descendant of the last chief vies for the mic while we eat bison and elk tacos at Camp Kapapa on Flathead Reservation, home of the Salish and Kootenai nations, mountain and water people who revere what remains of their sacred land on Flathead Lake. Land of cherries, wheat, wine, honey, and a burgeoning campground where Aunt Kaya sings traditional songs, 2 cousins in native skirts twirl to a ritual dance. Named strong warrior at birth, Uncle Louis Camel speaks of ancestors like his grandmother, a welder who lived near Wild Horse Island, and plans to expand the camp outside bear season, keep alive his people's rich oral traditions and soul. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, yeah. Hi, Daniel. Welcome to Brownstones, and please unmute and share.
Hi, this is a wing-stroked spectacle. Segmented sets of starlings sharply elevate towards candescent skies, suspend, then circulate in sync. Their wingspans whisper sunset symphonies while manifest in silhouetted symmetries. With poise and spurts of swiftness, they transform the air into an ever-changing scape. This canvas where each turn and swirl unfurls a painterly display, a moving mural rendered on a dying day. The starlings coalesce to form a checkered veil. They crown the clouds and skim across the coastal trail, then separate as if surrendering to gusts and cover summits like a desert storm-flung dust. With tapered pace, erratic bursts revert to long glissades of shivering shades, a showy dance along a latent stopgap stage. They stir careen, decline, retracing what remains of lofty lazuline, before it all becomes a screen of red-specked gold. The starlings falter in its wake, they cannot hold their elegance in fading light. Their spirals wane in streaming chains that spill in spates of jet-black rain. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dan. Oh, so magical. Oh my God. Thank you. Come again. We love it. Okay, now let's see who's on the list here. We have Therese. You want to unmute and share? I know you have to leave early.
Okay. This is called The Space Between. So much evades our understanding, which is a faulty tool at best. Along with all the rest of us, I lack certitude and fit best around the edges where I can make my mark at the start without the comfort of assurance. There are words for my belief about the God who comforts me in my grief and fuels my energy to imagine and act, preferring that to faulty interpretations of fact. I need the spaces undefined, and I decline the need to fill the space with certitude or to deny that in the spaces truths emerge in bonds of unity and converge to draw us close. Still, we must wait and listen at the gate of consciousness along with all the rest, and wrestle with the pressures that can either overtake us or help define one more time how we understand and partake in co-creation. So while I am clear in my beliefs and declarations, I stay clear of certitude, which is blind to the endless food for the mind and soul in co-creation. Instead, I circle round and haltingly touch the space which leaves a trace for exploration, fueling ever new creation. Our light is close, we need not fear, and spaces tell us it is clear. We never see entirety. The way ahead is naturally within the spaces we set free. And risking to step out off the ledge, my pledge in all humility is to seek the force that lights the way and try again day after day for love of you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Therese. Okay, before we move on to our first two features, I'm just going to read for the round. We had 3 rounds of the open. So in round number 2, when after, I just want to let you guys know that after we hear the features and after our 50-minute break, we're going to have round 2, which will be Carrie Radner, Karen Newberg, Ron Cohn, Bill Considine, Mike Jakovic, Giulio Magrini, Serena Jeffers, John McMullen, Douglas Collard, Dorothy Cantwell, Francine Witt, and Maria Perez. So we're going to move on now to our features. Feature number 1, we have George Wallace in the house. Okay, let me just get this on like speaker view. Okay. George Wallace is a writer in residence at the Walt Whitman birthplace in Huntington, New York, professor of English at Pace University in NYC, editor of NYC from the Inside Blue Light Press 2022, and author of 39 chapbooks of poetry in the US, UK, India, Albania, and Italy. He is creator of the Poets Building Bridges World Poetry Transfiguration Project. In 2022, he was named Poet of the Year for the Boa International Poetry Festival in Hainan, China. Wallace's previous honors and awards include the New Generation Lifetime Beat Poet Laureate, National Beat Poetry Foundation, US 2021, and the Corona d'Oro Korea Literary Festival, ABE 2019. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to George Wallace.
Well, thank you. Thank you all very much. I hope that the introduction doesn't cut into my 15 minutes.
No. Now it's 15.
It's great to see so many old friends and some people I'm meeting for the first time whose names I've seen on Facebook or otherwise. And I want to thank all the good work that's been done by the Brownstone Poets over many, many years, right up to the present. And long may your good work continue. I'll read 4 recent poems for you. This is a sidewalk poem, a child's sidewalk poem, drawing with chalk. I live inside a chalk-drawn circle, the line that I draw around myself. I'm the monkey wrench. I'm the fly in the ointment. I'm the conductor of a trolley that never knew a track. I'm a chemist concocting illegal rhymes. I hand out citations to anybody. I teach the snow to fall. The stones beneath the surface of the green sea. I teach them to sing. I cast out evil when evil shows its face. I live inside a chalk-drawn circle. I am incurious of sinners. I'm indifferent to soldiers. I'm a magical thinker who wanders among the ruins, wearing bedroom slippers and taking notes. A child at the most serious play, dangerous, free. I live inside a chalk circle and tell tales concerning societies and men, and I'm a canary that never knew a cage. I'm a baker of a kind of bread that never felt a knife. I am a maker of roof tiles that never felt the falling rain. And I sing my song and whole gardens appear where the bombs once fell. I heard giraffe on tenement rooftops. I wave my hand and paintings appear on hospital walls. I am the secret mixologist of dreams. I live in a pottery jar and wait to be filled. I live in a glass pitcher and I wait to be emptied. Left alone in my prison, I take my time and I study the darkness. An earthquake that never made a table shake. A crust of bread that never swept itself under a carpet. A lie never told. A love never betrayed. A vice that never happened. A lighter of imaginary dynamite. And I puncture fear, and I outlaw love, and I outlast anything which lives outside my chalk-drawn circle. Second poem. How pleasant in times like these. How pleasant in times like these to plagiarize the orthodox, to mock the powerful. How pleasant to set fire to the tabernacle of grift and lay dry tinder to the commonwealth. How pleasant to ridicule the mounted police playing headless croquet, to unhorse them, to strip them of their pride. The age of censorship shoots rainbows out of a little boy's ass. Let us rob it of its ammunition. How pleasant in times like these to desecrate the melodrama of unregulated wealth, which festers in broad daylight. How pleasant to unmask the villain who disrobes and discards women like playing cards. How pleasant when gentlemen fall prey to beggars on the pavement with their cartoon bellies and their battered cliché eyes. Money hides in kitchen cabinets. Essential workers undermine the stock exchange. How pleasant the denouement. How pleasant the conductor who seduces the stockbroker's wife. How pleasant to throttle the cops gathering in small circles and uttering curses upon the people. Let us demob them. Let us redistribute their joy. Let us defile the clerics. How pleasant to be unpleasant in times like these. The city is agitated. The city is on guard. High windows shudder with every armored vehicle passing. There's shrinkage in the land. How pleasant in times like these to see the pavement boil like a great molten sea and be glad. That poem appears in On Planet News 13, which came out just yesterday. This one, some of you may have heard. Peter, I think you've heard this one in Pete Solometer's place. When we had a big heart, When like a big fire truck blowing through rush hour traffic to rescue the world from itself, and our free souls beginning their journey through the world, not with it or against it, just through the world. And love was a word, and hearts were near to bursting on every doorstep and every puddle and plate. When, in the reflection of possibilities, like a belly full of miracles, when pure hearts brewed to overfilling despite the cold realities and grew round and red as radishes, and we had had enough of all the bullshit that surrounds our all too human existences, and were ready to change the world. You may remember this time when, shivering over the tar of the city like FM radio, a new kind of music sucked out all the bad air out of our miserable and deranged animal brains, and replaced it with collective joy. And ignorance and prejudice were defrocked and sent off to the ash pits of history to contemplate their many crimes. And the world put on its new suit of clothes and surprised itself in the mirror with how good it looked. Went out into society and overcame its own imperfect nature and smiled. And life was on fire again. Life was on fire, something you could almost taste in a genuine equine motion of our bodies approaching each other openly on a dance floor. Openly on a dance floor. You could smell the smoldering ecstasy. You could just feel it. Nobody was going to bring us down again. No, not this time. And the music sparked, and the streets were to us like the trajectory of stars, and love sweetened our tongues for each other like spiced rum. And you extended your hand to mine, and I took it and offered mine the same. And the day-glow laughter of every woman and man sang a panegyric to every other man, woman, and child. And we were momentarily free. And no small-brained politicians to fuck us up. Free, and no perp walk or betrayal or anger or hate or manufactured war to shame us. Free, until our lungs hurt to bursting with so many kindnesses. So many kindnesses, like too much cotton candy at the fair, and we hung around on the edge of a cliff on a western shore and waited for the sun to go down, and we were magnified and never made to feel small. When we had a heart, that is. When we had a big heart. Thanks. I have time for one more. This one may be in caps 25. Look through any window. I see children of the field in their white working blouses as singing wheat and carry socialist machetes into capitalist sugarcane, or capitalist cell phones into the barricades, and ignore the inconsistencies and sing like crickets in trees and study the textbook of the stars, and they would die if they had to sing alone. I see tenement children in their slacks and blue jerseys who sing and milk and run up and down apple cart stairs and capture the flag and make a hell of a racket near chimney pots to wards and Grand Hotel parking garages, for whom shaking down the man is a gumball machine and not a crime. Shaking down a man is a gumball machine, not a crime, for whom water mixes with oil and life is not up for debate, and they would die if they had to sing alone. I see the children of the boulevard and the children of gypsies and seafaring men in their traveling clothes who sing on Gulf Coast shores and collect like Great Lake driftwood and share tattoos and build bonfires that touch the moon and never look back. Children of Greenwood, Mississippi, who sing in cotton in their stay-at-home clothes and throw seductive eyes at each other all summer behind the general store, gather kindling wood by the forked road when winter sets in, and they slice up the night like the river of gold they share, and they are the gold. Kiss them all. I would sing with them. Children in lowly windows, Navajo corn children, postage stamp children, children after a long drive home, children of the bleachers and factory whistle, children of the grandee and the satrap, children of the holy sativa, the refugee camp, Ethiopian children, London children, children of Nicaragua and the Faroe Islands and the Americas and the fog, children of wild horsemen on the fast, uproarious Asian plateau, children of the soul and savannah and the heavenly oceanic surf, clothed in innocence and opportunity, and I would sing with them all through the mask of death and their innocence. On every bombed out plane, children of children, folk singers, hand clappers, dancers, players at the grass harp, in their hand-me-down shoes or no shoes at all, and rice fields, golden temples, on football pitches, and in the delicate gardens of Versailles, on tarmacs and slipping conspiratorially among the redwoods, or negotiating the dubious seductions of Inwood, and in gloomy European shadows, carrying black and white Bibles and textbooks and fulfilling their father's promises to science or God. Children holed up in laboratories and philosophical towers and academic halls, cooking up principles and certainties and devotions that will surely rescue every suffering thing in this world from itself, including themselves. Children and children and children again, who sing in milk, who sing in agriculture, who sing in wheat. I would sing with them all. I would die with them in innocence and solidarity and peace, if only they did not have to sing their song alone. That's it. That's what I got for you. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Always.
Thank you,
For
George.
sure, you're muted.
I'm done. I'm done. That was it.
That was it? You don't want to read us another one?
That's enough. Wasn't that 15 minutes? That's enough. Let's hear from Carla. I want to hear Carla.
Patricia, you there? She needs to unmute.
Okay, here we go. Okay, Carla M. Cherry is a high school English teacher. Her work has appeared in Random Sample Review, Anti-Heroin Chick, 433 and Raising Mothers, a Best of the Net Pushcart Prize nominee. She has authored 5 books of poetry: Gnat Feathers and Butterfly Wings, $30 and a Bowl of Soup, Honeysuckle Me, These Pearls Are Real, and Stardust and Skin Eye Publishing. And 2 chapbooks, Clap Your Hands, Stump Your Feet, Grandma Moses Press, and Sundays and Hot Buttered Rolls, forthcoming from Finishing Line Press. She holds an MFA in creative writing from the City College of New York. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Carla Cherry. Take it away, girl.
All right, thank you, Patricia. It's beautiful to be here. I'm just amazed by all of the poetry that I'm hearing today. So I'm just going to share a few poems. There were some love poems and a couple of poems from my latest releases. So I hope you enjoy them. Okay, so the first poem that I'm going to do is called The Anteroom, and it's from my first book, Gnat Feathers and Butterfly Wings. Baby, I must tell you, I can't be the type to eat a plum or a peach or an apple before it's ripe. Though you desire my dainty meats, a pure heart and motive is what I seek. Love is more than honeyed lickings, strawberry cream and apple size. I do want you, but caress my thoughts before my thighs. Fondle my aspirations, my breasts won't disappear. The small of my back can wait. Ned my doubts and fears. Explore my world, then take me to heaven. Okay. So this next poem is called Marks, and it's from my second book, $30 and a Bowl of Soup. Marks. Got a small scar on my left cheek. Looks like a moon crater. It is most prominent when I smile. My son had given me chickenpox. Impatient, I nicked the purplish scab while I healed. Desiring perfection, I used to cover the scar with foundation. It felt like a mask, so I poured that oily brown mask down the drain. When I met my man, I envied his flawless skin. Whenever I undressed in front of him, I wrapped my arms around my waist to hide my stretch marks. Then one night, before I could turn off the light, he wrapped blue and white ribbons around my hips, laid me down, slid down our sheets, stroked my navel, whispered that Black mothers are Yemaya manifest. When he brushed his lips down and kissed each of my crooked rivers, the Ogun, the Nile, the Limpopo, the Zambezi, the Niger, I knew not to covet a child's soft smoothness. Okay, so the next poem that I'm going to do is called Ode to Menopause. One of the things I'm learning to live with is sweating like a bottle of Pepsi in the summer and having to turn off the heat even in the winter because I am always hot, hot, hot. One of the things that makes him laugh is the whirl of my backside as we cuddle each night, the caress of his legs with my legs and feet, my suckle on his neck, his chest, because I am always hot, hot, hot. This morning, as I was peeling and cutting up pineapples, parsing plump blueberries from the withered, he walked in and said, "That smells good." I said, "Yeah, look at all the pretty sweet things God gave us to eat." He pressed up on me, slid hands between my thighs and whispered, "Yes, Lord." Okay, so this next poem that I'm going to read is from my third book. It's called Honeysuckle Me, and it's a poem called Double Dutch, and I wrote it for my students. Double Dutch. Didn't have a jump rope for our field trip. One of my girls suggested telephone wire. Ran to the corner store, got a black one, went to the park. In groups of 3, we took turns, and I was back in my Bronx courtyard, rocking back and forth to the beat of our white canvas rope hitting concrete before jumping in, praying the ropes wouldn't hit me in the face, knock off my glasses. I was one of those lateral jumpers, side to side. Like Daddy used to say, as he veered away from crowded highways, always have more than one way to get to your destination. Never was quick enough to skip, clap my hands, tap on my knees or ankles, hop over those ropes with just one foot. Was just getting to 1 up, 2 up, turn around once or twice, hop up in the air, land, resume the jumping. Never seemed to get past 3 up before I stepped on one of the ropes and had to wait before I could jump back in or be one of the turners. Had to count aloud to keep my arms swinging the ropes on beat. To be double-handed was sin. With my girls now, I turned the rope in perfect time, huffing and puffing, but kept perfect count. 1 up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And when it was my turn to jump, I dove in, hopped back and forth to the beat, held my shirt down like we used to so our breasts wouldn't bounce, hoping my girls saw me as an older version of them and would fight our reading and writing together a little less come Monday. Okay, so I have 2 more poems that I'm going to share. This next one is called Ode to Harlem, and it's from my chapbook, Sundays and Hot Buttered Rolls. I met Harlem through my father's eyes. Daddy, a son of 375 Edgecombe Avenue. Harlem, a place that fed you mind, body, and soul if you were in a good building with good neighbors. PS 46, Stitt Junior High School 164, George Washington High School. Daddy's favorite teacher, Mrs. Purcell, had parties every Friday if the class was good. Her voice, was like a thunderclap. You had your street gangs like the Egyptian Kings or the Debs, but if your parents kept a tight rein on you, you were okay. And Nana and Pop-Pop kept Daddy close to the stoop. After school, there were Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Explorers, Brownies, Girl Scouts, mini-sink townhouse. Got around streetcars on Amsterdam Avenue. Double-decker buses on Broadway. They cost 10, 15 cents. Ran from the cloisters down Fifth Avenue. Daddy sang in the boys' choir at St. Luke's Episcopalian. Baptized at Abyssinian Baptist Church. Age 11, he carried groceries at Food Family Supermarket on 148th and St. Nicholas, next door to the liquor store David Dinkins' father-in-law used to own. Daddy wandered the shelves of Michaud's African National Memorial and Black Liberation Bookstore. His friend Bunky OD'd at the age of 16. Daddy swore heroin was dumped in Harlem in the 50s because of Adam Clayton Powell and Black people starting to control their own destiny. Destroy the youth, destroy the community. I met Harlem through my father's eyes. We read the Amsterdam News. 4 years of Saturdays at Harlem School of the Arts. Piano flute for me, piano and ballet for my sister. Black Liberation Bookstore after. Read to Miss Molzak in Polysyllabic Breeze. On to Better Pie Crust, where we begged for cinnamon buns after. No sticky fingers on book covers. Took us to the Schomburg when he researched our family's roots, buried deep in North Carolina peanut and cotton fields. He bought a copy of Harlem on My Mind. To see Harlem through my father's eyes, I pored over its photos and articles until the spine splintered. James Vandersea, Speakeasies, Ethel Waters, Florence Mills, Kid Chocolate, Marcus Garvey and his Black Star Line, Father Divine, Joe Louis, rent strikes, protests, boycotts, don't buy here, pass them by, James Baldwin, Percy Sutton, Castro's visit at the Teresa Hotel, James Powell and the riots of 64, Malcolm X on the podium, then lying in state. Family dinners at 22 West on West 135th, Copeland's, where I ordered entrees plus 3 sides. As loved ones joined the village of the ancestors, we held services at Bentis Funeral Home. College summer breaks, I returned to Harlem, saw it through Daddy's eyes, went to Harlem Week, bought cassettes from the Record Shack, shopped for African garb at Mart 125, medallions, bracelets, and codfish cakes from the street vendors. Like my father and mother, I was baptized at Abyssinian. I, too, strolled Stivers Row on Sundays. People said, good morning. Buy property, Reverend Buss said, I'm telling you now. After service, coconut and vanilla cakes from the Cake and Pie Man on the corner of West 138th and Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard. As music blasted from elders selling gospel CDs, we perused framed art that I would hang if I ever owned a Harlem brownstone. Though Mart 125, the Record Shack closed their doors, rents went up, big box stores took over, new white neighbors called police about loud music, laughter, domino games, and not even the perfume of the linden and sweet gum trees could stop complaints about the drum circle in Marcus Garvey Park that kept it safe for over 40 years. This granddaughter of Harlem is here to tell you, it still feeds the mind, body, and soul. The churches where tourists line up to hear the gospel music, City College, the Schomburg, the Apollo, Studio Museum of Harlem, Sisters Uptown Bookstore, the people who say good morning on Stivers Row, Londell's, Ponte Bistro, Make My Cake, Melba's, the Cecil Steakhouse, Uptown Juice Bar. Here I stand. And the last poem I'm going to read is called We Three Were Water, and it's from my latest book, May He Bless My Name. We Three Were Water, July 13th, 2013. 1. Before today's protest at Union Square about Trayvon, I sent one of the coordinators a Facebook message. My son wants to attend the march you announced. Under the circumstances, I do not want him to go. Terrified for him living in America. Please let him come, he writes. Please. Does your son do any public speaking? He should speak today for a few minutes about what he is feeling. I reply, he is 19 and swears he is going despite my objections. How do I know the NYPD won't crack heads? I'm so scared. Black people aren't respected anywhere. I am a Black mother of a son. Don't know what to do anymore. He does not answer. What reassurance could he, a Black man, offer anyway? My mother, my sister, and I surround Kari as he laces his sneakers. No, don't go, we cry. The cops are already feeling some kind of way. We three were water, corroding his steely will. 2. Children younger than Kari, the sons and daughters of our foreparents, had their own D-Day, May 2nd, 1963. 4,000 Black youth in Birmingham, knowing they could be arrested, marched out of their segregated high schools, congregated at 16th Street Baptist Church before they marched downtown, and bullies with badges and biting dogs and fire hoses knocked them down and arrested them by the hundreds. Birmingham desegregated. Hattie Mae, Cynthia, Carol, and Carol Denise, victims of vengeance. College students sat straight-backed and still at segregated lunch counters while bigots shouted, poured drinks or ketchup on them, pushed them off their chairs. Freedom riders signed their last wills and testaments before they boarded the buses. The parents of Dorothy Counts pulled her out of Harry Harding High School after 4 days of screaming mobs, rocks thrown and landing mostly at her feet, boys spitting in her food at lunch, and the white girls forced to withdraw offers of friendship. At least the Counts had let their daughter try. 3. With George Zimmerman free, America has neither the eyes nor ears for a Black mother's heartache, will not avenge our rage if a baton bashes Kari in the head, across his back or legs, applies salve to soothe his wrists if he is handcuffed. So we shackle him with our words and fears. I've so often seen Black and white photos of Black men carrying signs, I am a man. Kari was declaring the same. Who was I raising him to be? Thank you. If you like what you heard, I'm going to drop the links to my books. If you're interested, you can follow me at Instagram at CarlaBXPoet1. And thank you for listening.
It was terrific.
Incredible, incredible reading. Thank you, George, and oh my God, and Carla. Thank you so much for sharing history that should be taught. This is crazy. The system has to change. Oh God, we got to keep freedom alive here. Okay, we're going to be going into our break time, but before we do, I just want to reiterate round 2. There are 3 rounds to the open mic. So round 2, we have Carrie Radner. Karen, I know Karen joined us. Karen, you can still read if you want to. Ron Combe, Bill Considine, Phil Inns couldn't make it. Mike Jakovic, Serena Jeffries, I guess she's not here. John McMullen, Douglas Kalla, I guess Dorothy Cantwell's not here either. Francine Witt, and I guess Maria Perez. So, and then the last round, after we get to the third feature, who will be Andrew Kaufman, we're going to have Peter Kozlowski, Margaret Sirocco, Ashlyn, Prince A. McNally, Josephine LeRae, I guess Joe Kidd, Beth Morris, Ernest Woodley, Allison Ross, Edgar Carlson, myself, and Roxy. So any shameless plugs, please feel free to share right now. You can unmute. We're on a break for like 50 minutes until Roxy gets back. We're going to bring back round 2 of the open, and then Andrew, and then the third round. And okay, next month, we're going to have our next reading, March 30th. We're going to have Marissa Prada, Brian Franco, and Edith Blackbird. That'll be our next round of Brownstone Poets. And Roxy, do you have anything to share about what's happening on March 8th?
Oh, yeah. Well, March 8th, we're going to be celebrating International Women's Day with the W Hotel in Hoboken. And there will be a mixer from 6 to 9 p.m. with free wine tasting, a DJ, and 6 fabulous poets, including Patricia Carrigan, Tantra Zawadi, Rescue Poetics, Sarah Sarai, and Lynn Shapiro. Am I missing somebody? I think I'm missing someone. I don't know. But it's going to be fantastic. All I can say is you should come and listen to these wonderful women read their work and mix with other people. It's going to the gear is going to sort of towards women entrepreneurs and professionals. I posted it on Instagram, and we continue to look for purple poems at the Rainbow Project. We're in the color purple. So I will post a link to the submission call.
Oh, not violet, purple?
Well, it's violet, purple, it's the same. It's the same.
Okay. Cool.
So you can unmute right now. We're on our break, about 15 minutes. Okay, schmooze, feel free.
Yeah, I'm going to turn the recording off for a while. I'll pause it. But we're still on the live stream. I just let you know that whatever you're saying, if anybody's watching the live stream, they're going to hear it.
Actually, I was wondering if you got my violet poems.
Yeah, we have. I've just been very busy getting our March release and our April release together.
Okay.
So probably be up like in a couple of weeks.
All right. Oh, anything about submitting to the Brownstone anthology for this year?
No, you have to come. You're not eligible because you have to come to the series. You have to come here. If you come like another few more times here, you have to be a regular. You'll be in next
Okay.
year's 2025.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right.
Because it would be just too overwhelming for us to go through like hundreds of people throwing stuff our way.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
We keep it, people who support the series. Well, welcome aboard, and you'll be reading soon. Just go. See you guys later. I'm so happy. I just got this today in the mail. So I'll be posting this later on today. You can unmute everybody. It's okay. Schmooze.
Is there a link to the President Brownstone Journal on Amazon yet? I wanted to put a link to it on my Facebook page.
Which are you talking about? Which anthology? 2024,
The anthology, the 2024 anthology of Brownstone.
224 is not out yet. We're in the process
Oh.
of editing. It's going to hopefully we're
Oh,
trying to get this done by the
I'm
summer.
sorry, the 2023 then, the last one.
Oh goodness, can I send to you? Oh goodness, you want the link of it?
Yeah, the link of it on Amazon for the
Hold
last
on,
one.
I will put the link here.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. I gotta get to my computer here. Hold on.
Yeah, I deleted it by accident. I don't see the thing.
If we're unmuted, can I throw something out there? Amy Barone is in the Poets Super Highway, whatever, the Poetry Super Highway in California. She's a Poet of the Week, I believe. Amy, you might tell people about that.
Thanks, Ron. Yeah, it just came out today. I guess I could send a link out. I'm one of 2 poets of the week with a fairly new poem. Thanks, Ron.
Total congratulations. Absolutely.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
You
I'll
should-
put it on Facebook on Monday.
You should tell people about that reading you're going to be doing too.
Oh, I just put the poster in it, the Grantwood poetry reading series. It includes an open mic. I put the little flyer out there in the chat room. It's in Cliffside Park, New Jersey. Ron featured there last month. And I hope I hear it's just about a half-hour bus ride from Manhattan, from Port Authority.
Yeah. They get a nice crowd too, nice people.
Right. Do you take the bus, Ron?
Yeah, I took the bus up from Port Authority. Make sure you take the express bus and do your best to get the express bus back. I made a mistake and took the local back.
Uh-huh.
And I really thought I was going to get dropped off in central New Jersey.
Oh gosh.
I saw an awful lot of cities and whatnot. And then finally it hit Weehawken and I said, oh yeah, that's where the tunnel is. So I knew I was going to get home okay. But make sure you get an express bus back too if you can.
Geez, I can't even remember the last time I rode on a bus. Holy crap.
Mike, did you want to announce that next publication, the CAPS publication at all?
25th anniversary? Yeah.
I probably should. I'm just,
Yeah, thank you for accepting my poem.
oh, you're welcome. The judges did it. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the event will be, well, we're doing our first reading to celebrate 25 years next Friday, March 1st. It's going to be in person and on Zoom. I put the link up earlier. Our 3 prize winners from the anthology will be our features, Susan Shute, Tim Brennan, and Sandy Ione. And And anybody who wants to join us on the open mic, both in person and on Zoom, please do. Sandy will be featured through Zoom, and Susan and Tim will be right there in person. So we were hoping to have the anthology on March 1st, but it's not going to happen. It's probably going to be toward the middle, if not the end of March. So we'll have it for April, but we'll let everybody know when the copies are available, and we'll get them out to you one way, shape, form, or another.
Are you
Looking
going to be
forward to
reading,
it.
are you going to be reading in the city again, Mike? You said you might be coming to New York.
Yeah, I'm doing something, but I can't remember when. Sometime in April. I'll let you know. I'll put it up there.
Thanks.
I was just saying that it's been so you and Amy were talking about taking a bus out to New Jersey. It's been so long since I've been on a bus. I wouldn't even know how to get to wherever I had to go. Yeah. But it's great to see everybody. Thank you, everyone who participated in the anthology submissions. It's going to be a real packed operation, so I'm looking forward to it. We're going to do several launches. We're going to have April 6th. We're going to have a launch at Arts Mid-Hudson in Poughkeepsie. I don't know if we're going to do Zoom or not, but that'll be in person. I'll put that up also. And we're planning on one in September, and there's another one coming in March sometime, but that's up in the air at the moment too. So, but we're working on it.
Okay, great, thank you. Roxy, let us know the time when we should come back on. She comes back. Okay. So as you know, the next Rob Brownstone reading is March 30th next month with Marissa Prada, Brian Franco, and Edith Blackbird. Oh boy. Any more shameless plugs, or you can just unmute and just talk about anything? Talk about the weather, or whatever. It's nice the sun is shining for a change here in Brooklyn.
Sometimes it rains in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's not raining now. It's for a change.
I like that. Sometimes it rains.
Sometimes it rains in Brooklyn.
I like that song. Nice song.
Thank you. Carrie!
Hey!
I thought you were a statue for a while because you weren't moving. I think that really hurt. That just a poster or something, you know.
I'll take it as a compliment.
No, you were just like I didn't know if it was really you or you know how people just. Good to see you though.
I just see you too, Prince. Been a while.
Yeah, been a little minute. I was talking to Leah today.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I had missed a couple of the East Village
Wordsmiths. Yeah.
Smiths.
Okay, looks like it's time to get back on. Hey, ready, everybody? Ready, Roxanne? Just let me know.
Yeah, the recording's back up.
Okay. Fabulous. Hi, welcome back to Brownstone Poets, round two. I mean, the last part of it. Okay, we're gonna have like about 11 open micers. Then we're gonna go into Andrew Kaufman's reading, and then we're gonna end with the rest of the open. Okay, let me reiterate who's reading for the open right now for round two of the open. It's Carrie. Karen's not reading. Okay. Ron Combe. Is Bill Considine still here? I don't know if he's here. Is Bill gone?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, good. Okay. Mike Jakovic. John McMullen, Douglas Colla. I don't see Dorothy Cantwell. Francine Witt, she's still here? Francine's still here?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, great. Okay. Maria Perez, Peter Kozlowski, Marcus Sirocco, and Prince McNally. Okay. Let's move along. As we know, we still do one poem. Keep to one poem, no more than a 3-minute limit. Okay, Carrie, unmute and share.
Hi, everybody. I'm Carrie Magnus Rana. If you've never met me before, nice to meet you. And it's good to see friends too. Good to see Patty and Roxy and all the wonderful Brooklyn loving poets. So this is a new poem. It's called Night at the Opera. I was only expecting a simple concert of the Boston Symphony Orchestra at Carnegie Hall on Tuesday night. Was Shostakovich's original version of his opera, Lady Macbeth, shook me spellbound for 3 hours. You used to strike me dumb when you entered the room. We would watch concerts together on the famous red velvet seats in the middle of the first tier years ago. Narrow salad days have grown meaty and fat. Our bills are mounting as we try to chase the dream. I sit alone in the dress circle on the far right side. It's my first night out in a long time. The heroine / villain in the opera, Katerina, becomes a murderer thanks to love and her impossible Russian men. She should have settled and saved her passions for a rainy day. Money doesn't always solve everything. Loneliness could strike anyone dumb. I was worried I would see you there, and I worried that I wouldn't see you, but I was safe this Tuesday night. The opera was all mine to savor, my soul illuminated. The music of the Tanglewood Festival Chorus and the soloist painted auditory landscape with its many textures, colors, and emotions. Oh, joy. I didn't want it to end. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, next, beautiful. Next we have is Ron Cohn.
Hi, everybody. As the people in Brevitas know, we had to write a poem called Where I'm From, and they were put on a website, and I think the website is having problems right now, but I submitted that poem to Robert Roth for his really great anthology called And Then. So here's my poem, Where I'm From. My father was of German descent. He became a civil engineer and always ruled his roost with an iron fist. My mother's parents were Polish. She was a concert pianist with a large heart who taught the neighborhood kids how to play the piano. This made me the product of a World War II coupling, a war I studied and admired way too much when I was young. I later broke free from that obsession and became a conscientious objector during Vietnam, working as a community organizer in Appalachia. To this very day, I'm still trying to figure out why some men are so sexist and violent. Thank you.
Wonderful, Ron. Very beautiful. Thank you. Okay, next up we have Bill Considine and then Mike Jakovic.
Thank you. Thank you, Patricia. This is called The Little Tree of Knowledge. The bonsai tree never knows it's a miniature. It senses it's real, from roots that reach through soil to leaves that bloom, turn color, and drop in season. Teens who play cheap sweet wine under a tree in the park think their night is only life in miniature, passing the time. Walking home in the dark, one feels so small, a cultivated variant of parents. The way ahead, unsure, though surely fatal, but knows there's room to grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Wonderful. Okay, next up, we're gonna have Mike Jakovic, and then we have John McMullen. Mike, unmute and share.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Great to see everybody. I miss you guys. I miss coming down there. And this is called One of Them. A certain suburban gonad twister and his scorpion maid by the house next door, and there's no playing field long enough, no playing field wide enough to escape his agitation, the mechanical slur of his fictional lawn, his new rude machine that cuts the land his imperial way. He's one of those gearheads who RPM and rev you awake each Saturday morning at 8 a.m., hoards lawn jockeys and talks to his tools. Yeah, he's one of them. Well, I wouldn't have dreamed to call one of them that weekend at Woodstock, Newport, Monterey. Thank you, everybody.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mike. Next, we have John McMullen. Unmute and share.
Marketing 101. When I was an officer at a major consulting firm and later the co-owner of a firm of clients on both the U.S. coast, the land in between, and Mexico, I was pretty good at marketing. I never intended to make a land office return. I became a poet. After all, when Joyce Carol Oates supposedly said, the number of people who read poetry in this country is about the same as the number who write poetry, Billy Collins disagreed with her, saying it is less. Having accepted that, when I got into this game, I was still chagrined when I received my 2023 1099 from Amazon, where I have 11 paperback books and numerous ebooks, and it showed that my proceeds for the year were $106.61. This is ridiculous. I better get back into the marketing business. So prepare for shameless self-promotion and coffee or champagne requests wherever I go. And if you go to Amazon, the name is spelled JOHN space F space MCMULLEN. Thank you for putting up with me.
So true, so true. I get it. I get it. Okay. Douglas Kala, welcome aboard. Unmute and share.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. All right, guys. This one is brand new. I just wrote it maybe a few weeks ago. It's called Curving Upwards. I dragged my feet across finish lines, hit with waves of inertia as my calling card echoed through tense exchanges with fearsome foes. Throes of anxiety sought to destabilize my body's matrices. In free fall, I grabbed hold of the banister attached to the winding staircase as nightmares became fever dreams. Grit and ambition married to one another. In pure ecstasy, as heightened intimacy between lovers is the perfect send-off to battle-tested metal. Glaring inaccuracies, couples resisting the urge to infight as fraught webs and entanglements age us forward, receding hairline, bags under the eyes, stretch marks on breasts that heave with each warble. I've battled ghosts in haunted cemeteries and sought the counsel of medicine men. I bartered my feelings in exchange for swift praise. Getting others to like me became a second full-time job. I've toasted the achievements of elders while making comparisons, knockoffs of swords not crafted by hand, but in the forges of rushed creation. I belt out soprano songs in bathroom mirrors, performing for an audience of one without feeling wholeness. Wake me when the sun bleeds and the moon loses its shine. Tug at my shirt collar with the passion of an overexcited potential lover. Don't let me drown in crowded rooms filled to the brim with empty bodies and forlorn hearts torn by the ravages of time. Don't let me simmer and stir as plots thicken and heartbeats hasten, rhythmically recuperating in respite.
Come back, please. Fabulous.
Will do, will do.
Oh my God, I love the ghosts. Very, very cool. Okay, I just want to reiterate, we have Francine Witt coming up to bat, and then we got Maria Perez, Peter Kozlowski, Margaret Sirocco, and Prince A. McNally. Take it away, Francine.
Hey, thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Roxy. Nice to be here. Wonderful features, by the way. George was amazing, and Carla as well. Water babble. Swim of people in the supermarket, faces fishing towards me, all eyes and gaping talk mouths. Their shimmery bodies squiggling through the aisles, cereal, soap powder, fruit. Fluorescent lights above us, a bloop of broken sunlight, wavy and far off like a dream. And there's me. My life spilled into liquid since you left me. I dig snatches of food off the shelves, the way guppies might dart towards a sea crab. Funny though, I don't need food or even want it since you left me with no hunger and a hook dangling out of my lip. Together you and I were land beautiful. You said words like forever, and trust me, I heard you. I heard you. And then one day you saw the horizon. Let's touch it together, you said. I went sudden mermaid, lost my walk legs. My arms were like fins. My hair streamed out like fire flames. And then in a water breath, you were gone. Saw someone other and floated away. And now I circle the supermarket with its cans and bottles and paper goods. It's all the water of once love now. And I float, and I float, and I float. Thank you.
Yay, Francine. All right. Congratulations on all your endeavors. I mean, keep it going, girl. Okay, next up, we're going to have Maria Perez. After Maria, we have Peter Kozlowski, Margaret Sirocco, and Prince A. McNally. This is that'll be the end of round 2 before we move on to Andrew Kaufman and then the rest of the open micers. Take it away, Maria.
Hola, everybody. Beautiful to be here. Great voices. Okay, because February has all these like love things going on. Okay. This is dedicated to Tina Turner. Watching What's Love Got to Do with It? It was the premiere week, and I was at a poetry institute at NYU, so I could meet my visiting college-age daughter at the big movie house near the campus. And my Nigerian friend from the institute said he'd meet us there too. So we saved him a seat and the drama began. Tina and Ike first, the hits and abuse and her gathering her strength after she beat him with her heel in the limo. And I felt the triumph of striking back, and we all yelled in the darkness, and I stood up and shouted, "Yes, hit him." Then the lights went on. And who had come in the darkness? My Nigerian friend. And all I could think was, how can I live this down? He'll just think I'm crazy. But he just smiled. And later that evening, he explained that he was the son of the chief of his village. And that as the chief's son, he had different houses there. And that if I consented to be his second wife, I would have my own house and have an honored place. Knowing he already had an American wife back in the North Carolina University town where he taught, and that he had written that poem about Sundays spent on the porch eating fried chicken. I imagined that the time in his Nigerian village would be similar. So I just smiled and let him know I was committed elsewhere. He nodded. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Next, we have Peter Kozlowski, then Margaret Sirocco, and Prince A. McNally before we head on to the feature. Peter, can you take it away?
Yeah, so I got a bunch of plants here, and most of them are doing pretty good, but this one, I don't know if you could see it, it's kind of like the lake parrot It's pining for the fjords. It reminds me of an old poem, actually one of the first poems I ever had published in this journal called Hobo Jungle. It was back in Connecticut in the late 80s. And poem is called A Plant Sitter's Contrition. Poor, lonesome green ones. I know it's cold. I think you're hungry. And you miss your long-haired lady. She's gone to sky and left you here like doorstep basket babies. And this flesh that's me, though meaning kind, is brusque and fresh and careless. It doesn't know your preferences or habits or your names. You wish your gentle sister back across the bland Sahara, her loving back from the charms of some Jezebel oasis, before this madman puts you each to death by different means.
Cool, very cool. I hope well, rest in peace, plant. I don't know. I can't help you. I have plants here too, but sometimes they die on me, even though I'm pretty good with it. I'm terrible with orchids. Okay, we're gonna thank you, Peter, for sharing. Now we're gonna go to Margaret, and then we're gonna go to Prince. Margaret, take it away.
Thank you. Carla and George, thank you for your reading. It was really wonderful. Looking forward to Andrew and loving the open mic, of course. This is called Causality, and it's from my book, Even the Dog Was Quiet. The millipede scurries up the steel sink. I capture him with a napkin, feel him twitch in my hand. Outside, I say, opening the door and shaking the cloth. 2 of his legs remain, his body gone. Retracing my steps, I carry my guilt for the morning that ended his brief life. I pull the bed covers over my head, try and restart the day. I've altered lives before. My fear of distracting someone from safely crossing the street, introducing friends who marry, later divorce, offering misguided healing advice, setting events in motion unable to halt inertia, whether at rest or not. If I don't interfere, nothing will happen. A remedy to my cause and effect dilemma, a stilted approach to life. Troubled, I am a meddling fool, searching for the carcass of a millipede. Look what I've done. Thank you.
That's cool. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And well, here we come. The Prince who's king, Prince A. McNally. Take it away.
Afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having me, Patricia and Roxy. Okay, this piece was recently published in the Marbled Sky, and it's called, it's after Jennifer Janot's poem. It's called The Novel You Should Have Read. This is for the novel you should have read. The novel that nearly pulled you in, though you barely skimmed its pages. The shy novel, the bold novel, the funny novel, the sexy novel, the mystery novel. The novel that made you smile, the novel that made you laugh out loud. The novel that made you sigh, the novel that made you cry. The rebound novel, the love triangle novel, the forbidden fruit novel. The novel that intrigues you, the novel that scares the hell out of you. The novel whose kisses had you so intoxicated in a hole-in-the-wall piano bar in the West Village. The novel that haunts you like a ghost with a host of what ifs. What if the novel had shown up at the reading that night? And what if you had taken the time to actually read it? The novel whose overwhelming passion made you feel something you didn't expect to feel, something you didn't want to feel, but you felt it anyway. The novel your boyfriend forbade you to read because he witnessed for himself how spiritually you came to life every time you read it. The novel that aroused you, the novel that challenged you, the novel that enraged you, the novel you betrayed and threw under the bus. The novel that made you blush, the novel that made you wet, the novel that made you so damn nervous, butterflies danced in the pit of your stomach. The novel you can't stop thinking of, the novel that can't stop thinking of you, the novel you surely would have loved, the novel you never got to fuck.
Thank you, Prince. Okay, we're gonna head on to the final feature here. But before we go to the final feature, I just want to reiterate who's in round 3. We have Josephine Leray, Joe Kidd, Beth Morris, Ernest Woodley, I guess Allison left, Edgar Carlson, myself, and Roxy. Okay, we're gonna bring on Andrew Kaufman.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I'm gonna read your
Great.
bio now.
Great.
Andrew Kaufman's most recently completed book, The Rwanda Poems, is forthcoming from New York Quarterly Books. His previous books include the Cinnamon Bay Sonnets, winner of the Center for Book Arts Award, Earth's Ends, winner of the Pearl Poetry Award, and Both Sides of the Niger. He is an NEA recipient. View more of his work at his website, andrewkaufman.wordpress.com, and reach him via email at andrewkauf@aol.com. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Andrew Kaufman. Take it away, sir.
Hi, thank you. The book has actually been out for a while. It's the Rwanda Poems, Voices and Visions from the Genocide. Okay, so there's a joke that Homer got up at a reading in ancient Athens and said he was only going to read 1 or 2 poems. Well, I'm only going to read 1 poem, but it's not quite as long as the Iliad or the Odyssey, thankfully. This is called the Kigali Genocide Memorial, and the book is based on interviews and conversations and so forth I had during my months in Rwanda. The Kigali Genocide Memorial. The 260,000 victims buried here are in 4 sealed tombs. No human bones visible, no stench of bodies. Thousands of undiscovered mass graves wait to be found by accident or exposed by erosion during the rainy seasons. The bodies here are all from Kigali. Each town in Rwanda has its own memorial. The guides at the memorials are survivors assigned to comfort guests who lose composure. We hold them in our arms, Emmanuel, who became my friend, tells me. The director wishes there were counseling for guides who say every tour they give is a reliving. The memorial is set on a mountain above 3 valleys. From the shanties below come voices, the killer's children at play, which I mistook for an audio loop when I came to the room filled with photos of children who did not survive. The red brick patio you cross to enter the memorial is built around a fountain. The beds of ferns and flowers that surround the fountain are lovely. A tiny bird hops and chirps in the ground cover. Areca palms spaced across the red brick are reflected in the floor to ceiling tinted glass that calls to mind a villa. Leaders came from countries that could have helped but chose not to, or which sent help that arrived too late, or those whose military arrived in time but saved only their own nationals. Presidents of countries that aided the genocide while pretending to stop it, and one whose government refused until it was over to call it genocide. Past the fountain, trailed by reporters to make lofty speeches and lay wreaths as their photos are taken. The outsized wreaths are carried by guides, since these are too cumbersome to manage gracefully. They found many who were buried here in churches. They found many in latrines, many in classrooms, in swamps. They found many in makeshift mass graves, in forests. They found many at roadblocks. They found many in wells. in their homes, in rivers. They found many on the beaches of the vast lake in the next country. They found many eaten by dogs. They found many, Emmanuel tells me, just sleeping, covered only by sky. When the memorial closes for the day, I sit on the front steps. I cannot think where to go from here. The most frequent comment in the logbook for visitors is never again in English, French, and German. But it is always never and never again. We worked around the change of planes in Burundi because it is chaotic still. We switched flights to avoid Kenya because it is unstable at this time. Travel to Congo, unadvisable. On the flight, they served dinner over Germany. We stretched above Bosnia. We slept over Darfur and woke over Uganda on the way to Kigali. One photo in the memorial shows a 2-year-old whose favorite food, a type note says, was rice and chips, her cause of death, smashed against the wall. A 15-month-old boy whose favorite animal was a cat is listed as killed in Mahavo Church. A 2-year-old in a white dress and white shoes whose favorite game was hide and seek, bludgeoned to death with a club. A 5-year-old whose best friend was his sister, killed in Saint Famille Church. 2 sisters, aged 6 and 7, whose favorite toy was a doll they shared, a grenade thrown in their shower. An 8-year-old leaning over a plate with one last piece of birthday cake, hacked to death by machete. A 2-year-old whose last glimpse was seeing her mother shot. His favorite toy, a car, blunt force to the skull. An 18-month-old whose favorite word was auntie, hacked to death by machete. A 4-year-old with large, curious eyes whose favorite food was cake, stabbed through her eyeballs and head. A 10-year-old whose last words were, "The UN will save us." A 9-year-old whose last word was pray. I wake to the silence of a well-appointed house in Ghent, Belgium on a dank March dawn, disoriented by leafless trees and gray steeples in the Flanders drizzle. I wake at home in New York City to questions no one asks me, with details no one cares to hear. I wake as though reciting in a nightmare. I was born between the time of an old man for whom I was named, running toward a forest, shot to death by stormtroops, and a young man, Serge's father, running from a church, macheted by Interahamwe. I wake as though reciting, I was born in the years between Holocaust and Holocausts, and the centuries surround me with fire. I wake at home to a friend's voice on the phone. Your email from Rwanda still traumatizes me. Do not tell me more about what was done to women and girls. If some Interahamwe squads with machetes had not been singing folk songs on the way to their neighbors, if the skull of an infant set on the skull of an adult at the church in Nyamata were not smaller than my hand, if the children of genocidaires did not skulk after me on the dirt streets asking for money, if they hadn't crushed newborn skulls against the floors at St. Mark Maternity Hospital, if the stained knives people used to open fruit didn't resemble those preserved in church memorials for the murdered, if doctors had not been busy murdering neighbors and patients, if some Interahamwe had not been drunk on banana beer, if they hadn't thrown nursing infants into piles of corpses, if some Interahamwe had not been dead sober, if what I took for rust on the high tin roof of Nyamata Church were rust, not blood, flesh, and brain matter blown 40 feet high by fragmentation grenades. To get to the Kigali Memorial from downtown, follow at first a tree-lined boulevard past white marble and glass embassies and government buildings along a wide mountain ridge. Walk down the steep hill, past banks, cell phone stores, and internet cafes. Descending still, past Exodus Pharmacy, the New Land Salon, God's Love Pharmacy, Smart Butchery, and the New Hope Auto Parts. Then past construction sites manned by genocide prisoners in jumpsuits who wave and smile if you stop to take their photos. Descend further past hair salons and lopsided shacks, sheds for building supplies and used car and truck parts. Then past a muddy street that slopes toward an open sewer. Farther down, walk past a warren of shacks whose tin sides appear to lean against tin roofs. The shanties give way to a swamp that turns to ponds in the rainy season. Those who know French will greet you, ask if you're lost, if you like the eternal spring climate of their country, if you have visited Lake Kivu and the mountain gorillas, then offer you their email addresses. If you stop to buy fruit, men speaking only Kinyarwanda, those for whom school ended by grade 6 or who never went to school, will cluster around you as you dig out your wallet, dare one another to ask you for money. If you ask someone to repeat what he's saying, he'll break into laughter full of mischief and mirth and sassy sounding questions in Kinyarwanda, stumbling into you from behind, from the press of crowds that is formed and the half playful pushes of friends. If you don't want to be bothered, ask, did you and your family do a good job with your machete in the genocide? And they will halt in unison and turn silent like a sea a god had calmed with a word. If the blood staining the church floors in Nyamata and Natarama were not so close to the shade of the red dirt on my sneakers, if women and girls tied to trees for hours waiting their turn to be gang raped had not been hacked to death when their rapists were done, if family members before being raped and killed had not been forced to watch as their parents and children were raped and killed, if the skulls in Netarama Church were not missing the same front teeth many of the living are missing, if they had not shoved a pole into a woman's vagina clear through to her throat. It is impossible to say, Jean-Luc replies after thinking a long time, whether it is worse for us who lost our families or for the genocidaires and their children who live with the shame of what they did. At work, you recall those you murdered who were your colleagues. You pass houses every day and remember the families you helped kill. You sit in school and remember who sat next to you. At the banana beer bars you drink, and the voices of those who you drank with come to you. If the killers had not been dancing on cars, jabbing their machetes into the sky, if the bones in the underground vault you enter behind Nyamata Church were not arranged by size and shape, like parts in an overstocked junkyard, if the skulls were not crowded so closely on corroded metal shelves, in rows and files like children I saw in Rwanda classrooms, if they had not cut off the breasts of women hiding in the swamps and tossed them to their dogs, if they had not forced children to machete other children to death before killing them too, if once they finished killing Tutsis, some had not started killing one another, if people hiding in swamps in the rainy season could have found water to cup in their hands that was not pink with blood, if the row of acacia trees along a churchyard's chain-link fence were not blossoming now, if the distance between this flower-scented world and the stench of decay in the mass burial vault below Nyamata's church were not just 8 whitewashed steps into the ground from here, if these cadences were not so like those that came to me at Tolslang prison in Cambodia. Evenings in Kigali, young men start conversations with me, walk in whatever direction I walk in, explaining, I have no family. I have no money for school. Please, you can help me. Tall, high school aged girls sometimes appear out of the Kigali night, gesture toward tin shanties on a dirt road, and offer to sleep with me there for $5. A young man only points to his calf muscle where an infection has eaten its way to his exposed tibia. A small girl appears out of the evening saying, "Where are you going?" "I live right here in this hotel." Those who try to explain how they survived when everyone else they loved was killed say, "God gives me strength." No one could say where God was then. The devil was running Rwanda, some tell me, but no one questions that God is God and God was somewhere. The president says we must forgive. Almost every survivor I speak with repeats. If they catch the ones who killed my family and they apologize in Gacaca court, I will accept the apology and they will go free. Some say if I see my parents' killers on the street in my village, maybe I smile to them, but I'll be hurting here, and their hands flutter to the heart. Some say if I forgive him, the killer can leave prison and grow food if he is a farmer. It's better for our country. Some say it's better that I forgive because always to hate becomes a poison to me. It's hard to kill a person, Serge told me the day of liberation, a soldier handed me his bayonet. Go ahead, kill this man, he told me. I knew the man had killed many people. I knew my father and brothers were dead. I was shaking. I cried. I thought, and I thought, what do I do? I prayed to God. I told the soldier I cannot and gave him back his weapon. Thank you. The printed price for this book is $18.95. I'm selling it for $10. I can be reached at my email address, andrewkauf@aol.com. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Angel. Very beautiful, very heartfelt, and very important that you bring this up. I mean, it's more, people don't know what's going on, and thank you for educating us. Thank you again for sharing. Okay, back to we got the final group here. We have Josephine Murray, Beth Morris, Ernest K. Woodley, Allison left, and Dorothy, you still don't want to read? I know you're late. It's up to you. Edgar Carlson, myself, and Roxanne. So, Josephine Murray, please unmute and share.
Thank you. It's hard to read right now, Andrew. Those images were so disturbing, and I'm so glad that you shared that with us. Thank you. I'm coming from Calgary, which is north of Montana, the land of the Piikani, Tsuut'ina, Nakota, Kainai, and Siksika. And I've just started to write about the time that of caregiving for my mom, who was living with me in her dementia. So this one is called Kaleidoscope. Brilliant bursts of broken sapphire, emerald, amethyst, lapis lazuli, aquamarine, amber, jade, ruby, topaz, each quarter turn reconfiguring, realigning, revealing the brilliant bits of my mother's broken mind. Thank you.
Fabulous, thank you. Joe Kidd, welcome to Brownstones. You guys want to come on and perform?
Thank you, Patricia. I have the always fabulous Sheila Burke here. She has agreed to give me a heartbeat while I recite my poem. It's called Woman in the Red Dress. There's a road that leads to the horizon, a road to nowhere. Nothing there but the moon in her glory, It leads in all directions. Footprints small and footprints large traverse the sand and the stones below. If you find yourself upon this highway, you will see a shadow among the crowd upon this winding thoroughfare. An ancient trail of sorrow and fear, a bitter journey soaked in tears, as rain, the sweetness of the fruit, fallen from the trees uprooted and bare, invisible now, the faceless course. Dear Luna, cast a reflection down to mark the passage back to the home. The wolf, the crow, the wind are calling, sent forth from where we baked the bread. And beaded children danced the circle. Great horned brother fed a nation. Slow was the walk, the talk, the prayer, humming, chanting, tongues of fire, holding the whip and the blade behind them. The thunder roared from a distant past. Ancestors rose as the earth delivered. She pushed and quaked, but lost the child. A meal for the vultures in a dark parade. One by one, each soul took flight. Nothing new this side of heaven, and if not heaven, then where does the drama end and begin anew? A garment thread of soft design. Dare not to sleep, to call the spirits, those who open an eye to see. A sunrise glows, but for a moment, then descends upon a burning soil. On her knees the woman crawls, the miles from birth to reach at last in line to quench the thirst for freedom. The handle of the knife is warm, the candle cold as ice. Heavy smoke drops to the ground, the signal lost before the storm. Beneath the dress, the sheath is hidden. Blue and red creates the violet that blooms beyond this gravity. Just keep marching, screamed the devil. Now turn and slit the throat of truth. Remove tonight this heavy regalia. Bathe in the pool of creativity. The dress now hangs upon a wire. History to judge the dying actor. Trail of misery, song of defiance. This poem, a portal, an entry door to guard the infant of the mother who wore the flag around her shoulders. Gone is the love, the blood, the bones, the hair, the eye, the beating heart. In a world of pain, all that is left, the dream of the woman in the red dress. Thank you all. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you guys. Okay, next up we have Beth Morris and Ernest Woodley, and then after that, I guess Allison left. Edgar Carlson, myself, and Roxanne. Beth, unmute and share.
Yeah, how can I go after Joe? Okay, maybe this fits. It's the end of President's Week and also coming towards the end of Black History Month. So I thought I would read a poem from my book written in 2014 called Nowhere to Be Found. It's called Mount Vernon, Virginia. Martha loved this place. The majesty of Mount Vernon rising from the Bowling Green, the pastures, woodland trails, and forests. She brought her dower share of slaves and her widow's wealth to Mount Vernon when she married George. 8,000 acres of land between the two of them, 300 souls in servitude to keep it. Martha loved her slaves. George's slaves were freed upon his death, according to his will. He wanted his wife to free hers too, but Martha kept her human dowry, bequeathed it to her grandchildren, couldn't imagine why her own lady's maid ran away, escaped north when George was president. Martha had promised only to her granddaughter as a wedding gift Martha loved the man. He'd helped raise her children from another man's seed, children and grandchildren from the Custis line. She'd left the comfort of plantation life to winter with her husband at Valley Forge, brought solace and support to the general, his men, the cause of liberty. Yet she did not want him to be president. Stayed in Virginia when he took the oath of office, burned his letters when he died. She would not cede one moment more of him to his country. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Beth, for sharing that. Ernest, could you unmute and share? And then after Ernest, we're going to have Edgar Carlson, myself, and Roxanne.
Okay, good afternoon. Okay, in honor of Black History Month, I'm going to read a poem. It's about Gil Scott Heron. I call it Brother Gil, R.I.P. Brother Gil, a wordsmith, gone too soon. Not her body, but her spirit. On a Sunday night, 4th of July weekend, you signed a copy for one of my books for me. We conversed briefly, and you dropped your pearls on me. Like rain, which I absorbed. A wonderful experience. Don't worry, Brother Gil. There's no shortage of people to remind the masses that the revolution is still not being televised. Not all is revealed on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, CNN, and other alphabet organizations. Though you were uneasy about being referred to in this manner, I and some others think of you as the godfather and the precursor of the rap movement. Through many winters in America, through your battles with demons in battle, your creativity shone through, giving a birth to a legacy of work for us to read, recite, and learn from. Brother Gil, a wordsmith, gone too soon. Rest in peace, rest in power.
Fabulous, fabulous. Okay, Edgar Carlson is gone, so I am next, and then after me comes Roxanne. I'm going to read something that was published in Great Weather for Media, I guess 2 years ago. Thank you, George, for being on the editorial staff for this. It's a jazz poem, For All We Know. In my teens, I took time to mature and understand the grown-up script written by yin versus yang. I had ash-tinted hair that grew past slim shoulders, bumblebee frames that cruised down my nose, a pale pink smile that believed in the future, skinny legs that danced under micro minis, along secluded Bronx trails near the river's ripples, not far from 6-story fortresses and my room's lemon-colored walls. We were children inside an antique frame under an Alice in Wonderland mushroom. We were children coming of age inside my world of make-believe. You loved Billie Holiday, hummed her songs whenever we met. For all we knew, you understood love's techniques, asked me to drop my towel or unbuttoned my blouse. Your pencil tried to sketch the woman inside the child, but I said no, thought you were like the rest until now. Sometimes regrets go elsewhere or stay inside this 8 by 10 frame. Thank you. And
All right.
last, we have my fabulous Zoom Meister. Take it away, Roxanne Hoffman.
Okay, so this poem is actually dedicated to George. It starts with a couple of words of George. And I just want to remind folks that in addition to George Wallace being a fantastic poet, he's done a lot of stuff for the community. He's got online Poetry Bay. He edits Walt's Corner. He put together an anthology with a lot of the New York poets. And he also produces albums with spoken words. George Wallace and Friends. Check him out on Spotify. Okay.
Thank you for that.
If looks could roller skate, you said, taking it slow in this heat. Maybe not you today, but your poems do fly. Words jazz to the beat, Mr. Cool. Smooth as Tanqueray and tonic on ice. Better than an AC man. Them words so breezy. Popsicles on roller skates, zipping around the park by the riverside. Got my headphones on, listening to your poetry on Spotify. Play on, Mr. Cool. Play your poetry all summer long. Keep me cool. Thank you, George.
Roxy, thank you so much. Roxy rocks. I love your work. Everybody, I want to give a big Brownstone thank you to George Wallace, Carla Cherry, Andrew Kaufman, the Open Mic, Roxanne Hoffman, myself, the Brooklyn and Hoboken, the whole universe, the whole world, and even beyond. The whole galaxy, y'all. So thank you again, listeners, open micers. Come back next month. We're going to be March 30th with Marissa Prada, Ryan Franco, and Edith Blackbird. Anybody have shameless plugs to throw out before we go?
Yeah, I have a shameless plug. I have 2 books coming out. I'm going to hold up the proofs. Sarah Sarai, her 4th wonderful poetry collection. She's actually had several, but this is like her 4th print collection. Bright Eyed, which is her story of growing up in California. And I also have coming out in April, Good Housekeeping by Bruce Whitaker. And they will be on board in April to read. They will be our features. 2 of the features. So we hope to see you every month.
Yeah, keep on coming, guys. Keep on coming. All the newcomers.
And read.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cornelius Eady will be our special 3rd feature in April. So it's going to be fabulous. Hope to see you back next month. We have a great lineup. That'll be the folks from Red and Green Publishing will be here.
Yeah, March 30th, right.
Right.
Okay, everybody. Enjoy the day. Have a fabulous weekend. Stay safe, everybody. Don't get sick, because I know people are getting sick around me and all that. So stay healthy, think happy, be positive, and sending love to everybody. Go ahead.
Can I push a book real quick? I've got a book now called The Bookstore Book.
I gotta get that.
And it's fabulous. Everybody should read it.
I gotta get a copy of that.
Thanks.
I did a blurb for
Wonderful
you.
book.
I did a
It's on
blurb.
Amazon. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Is it on Amazon?
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Be well,
Pat.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure you can get a signed copy from Ron.
Oh, well, actually, to be honest with you, I sold out. I got 1 copy left, so I'm hoping to get copies
I'll just get it
on
on
Monday
there.
or Tuesday. But hopefully I'll have copies next week. And everyone who has books for sale, please go to a place called Village Works at 12 St. Mark's Place. They love poetry and prose, and they buy books from me and put them on sale there. They're a wonderful store.
Oh, fabulous. That's wonderful.
They're terrific. Take care, everyone. Be
Okay,
safe.
bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
iPad cat.
Meow. Happy Saturday.
All right, I'm going to turn off the recording.
Yeah, I think it's time to go.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll call you as soon as I get off. Okay. Bye, everybody. Stay well.
Take care, everybody. We're signing.